First of all, I want to apologize for the noise in the background. I'm heading to work, but I had to say something about this news. But breaking news, this just came down the news wire. Actually, it came down 10 hours ago, and that Deshaun Watson decided on where he's going to find his new home. Now, if you've been paying attention to the report, they say it was narrowed down to two teams, the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, me personally, I did a live stream, and I told you guys, I'm assuming he's going to the Atlanta Falcons. That fan base there, the majority of that fan base is African American. I know a lot of people of other nationalities don't get it or don't understand. But that fan base will be behind Deshaun Watson. He'll be the biggest sensation in Atlanta sports since Michael Vick, Deion Sanders, and Dominique Wilkins. Okay, I'm just telling you, it's a rabid fan base that's enriched with African American culture and has a large African American community. Now, a lot of people said the football move for him to do is to go to the New Orleans Saints, and I can sort of co-sign to that as well. They have a winning tradition there. They also have weapons that he would be utilizing. Now, if he would have went to the Atlanta Falcons, essentially he'll be leaving the Texans, who at the moment don't have any weapons for him, and he'll be going to the ATL, essentially going to the same team with no weapons. Now, they did draft the tight end, I forgot his name, last year. I mean, that's one weapon, but a top 5 quarterback like that needs to have weapons galore. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. Now, if you've also been paying attention to what has been transpiring with the Cleveland Browns organization. Man, I'm getting my teams mixed up, okay? At least I got them in the same state, okay? But the Cleveland Browns pretty much told Baker Mayfield that, hey, look, we know you want a trade away from us, and a trade would be very beneficial for us as well. We don't believe in you no more. We essentially got rid of the squad from last year. We just don't have no faith in Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., as well as a handful of other players that they have released. And they also told Baker Mayfield, we're not going to trade you at the moment. We're going to trade you when it's convenient for us. And when I heard of that, I'm going like, well, why wouldn't they trade Baker Mayfield? Because the owner just basically slammed Baker Mayfield, saying we need an adult, not the best quarterback, but we need an adult. And I did a live stream about that, and I just felt like that was the wrong language to make. If you want to say, hey, we're just trying to upgrade at the quarterback position and be professional about it, okay, I would co-sign to that. Now, I did say in that live stream, there's several things Baker Mayfield has done throughout his career with the Cleveland Browns, as well as his collegiate career, okay? That's well documented. I understand, but you also have to understand the other perspective, which is the Browns organization. The Browns organization hasn't done anything stellar thus far, and, they haven't had a quarterback in many moons. The last quarterback that a lot of people thought there was promise and meaning going deep into playoffs and Super Bowls was Bernie Kosar, okay? Jim Brown. They still, to this day in 2022, they still talk about Jim Brown, okay? That was ages ago, all right? And the Cleveland Browns have been getting in their own way and drafted for quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. Not to mention the fact the Cleveland Browns also, the struggle is real, because during the Baker Mayfield era, they done had like 5 offensive coordinators and 4 head coaches, okay? So the Browns haven't done the best decisions for themselves. But anywho, you guys know how I feel about that if you've been following me or subscribed to the channel. Now, come word that late last night, Friday evening, the Browns and Deshaun Watson has agreed on a contract. It's a 5-year contract. It's $230 million. All of it is guaranteed, and that was the sticking point why Deshaun Watson didn't choose the Saints nor the Atlanta Falcons. No matter how desperate they are for a quarterback, they were not going to go as far as guaranteeing his whole contract. Okay. If you look, now they was okay with giving up all the draft picks and things of that nature, but one thing they was not going to co-sign on was guarantee his full contract, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in this video. But that was the one glaring thing that he chose the Browns over everyone else. Now, if we look at the Cleveland Browns, what weapons do the Cleveland Browns have? Now, they just traded for Amari Cooper. You guys know I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. I was never impressed with Amari Cooper. I think they put Amari Cooper on this pedestal that I didn't understand why. There was a reason why John Gruden and the Las Vegas Raiders okayed to trade for Amari Cooper to go to the Dallas Cowboys. Truth be honest with you, Dallas should have just kept that first-round draft pick and draft somebody. That somebody would still be with the Dallas Cowboys, and we still probably would have ended up with CeeDee Lamb, because Amari Cooper is not a world beater. His motor doesn't run high, and good luck with him, Cleveland. Good luck with him. He's gonna make several plays for the Cleveland Browns, but I just don't have a lot of faith in Amari Cooper. They also kept the tight end. I believe they franchised him. I'm not 100% sure, but they had a tight end already in their stable. So there's two weapons right there. Not to mention they have a good offensive line. Now, a lot of people suggest that it's a great offensive line. Me personally, I wouldn't go that far, but I'll give it a above average offensive line. There's really no playmakers on defense, but Deshaun, that's the real reason why Deshaun Watson chose Cleveland, because it was a money thing. It was a financial decision, and he also wanted security. He wanted his whole contract guaranteed. Now, what does this mean for the future for Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield has 1 year remaining on his contract, and me personally, he's still going to get traded away from the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns and the Cleveland Browns organization, the owner, the head coach, they just don't believe in Baker Mayfield. So they're going to exit stage left him, and they're going to probably trade him to a team that they can recoup some of their draft picks. Now, they even though that was the price to get Deshaun Watson, the Texans said, we're not trading him unless you give us 3 first-round draft picks and some more compensation. And they gave him 3 first-round draft picks. I believe they gave him a 2nd and a 5th, either this year, the 2nd this year, maybe the 5th next year. They gave them a flurry of draft picks. So the Cleveland Browns are saying to themselves, okay, we have a commodity here in Baker Mayfield. We can get some of those draft picks back. Somebody would probably give us a first-round draft pick for Baker Mayfield, somebody that is struggling. The struggle is real. Chicago is desperately seeking Susan, trying to find them a successor at the quarterback position. Even though the Pittsburgh Steelers have made moves in the quarterback position, but they're not sure about, maybe they would get Baker Mayfield. Even the New Orleans Saints, the Atlanta Falcons, they all might be in the running for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, like it or not, love it or hate it, despite if you're a fan or you're a troll or you just don't see Baker Mayfield as an elite quarterback, the facts are that he's a commodity that teams would probably give up a 1 or maybe a 2 and a 3 for Baker Mayfield and kick the tires around with him. Now, I feel like a lot of teams are going to, and I feel like the Browns really destroyed their trade chances. I mean, as far as getting a multitude of draft picks for Baker Mayfield, and here's why. Okay, the owner is not impressed with him. He's already gone on record and saying that we need an adult at quarterback, so he's a non-believer in Baker Mayfield. Plus, this news about Deshaun Watson, you really is not going to get more bang for your buck as far as, you're trading Baker Mayfield. Plus, he's got 1 year remaining on his contract. He is not going to exercise no extension. He would rather just go into free agency and, either re-sign with the team that traded for him, or he has other options at the door. So a lot of teams are going to look at that and say, well, why are we going to give you all these draft picks when we don't have any securities as far as him being our quarterback for 1 year? That's all we can confirm on. He'll be our quarterback for 1 year. He'll be pretty much essentially a rental. All right. So he does have some power, some control there. Plus, the fact that you traded for Deshaun Watson, you guaranteed his whole entire contract. You're telling the NFL and all NFL teams that you are desperate. You are so desperate, you're going to guarantee his whole entire contract. It's similar to an NBA contract. Now, I'm pretty sure there's parameters in the contract, like if he's found guilty in the civil case. Well, the criminal case, he's not going to serve any jail time or anything like that. But as far as the civil case go, they're not going to be held liable for Deshaun Watson in the civil case. So he doesn't have to worry about jail time, but also the organization don't have to worry about being sued as well. So if you can look at it that way. Also, Deshaun Watson is a top 3 quarterback. I've said that in my live stream, but we are talking about the NFL. And the one thing about the NFL, it humbles you real fast, real quick. You could be today's treasure, but tomorrow's trash. Okay, and he's still a young man, but you're running the risk, Cleveland, by guaranteeing the whole 5 years. What if he falls off a cliff? What if he has a significant career-ending injury? You still owe him that money. So you're going to still, at least in the salary cap, you're not going to be able to you're going to be so in the salary cap if he gets injured or if he retires. I highly doubt he'll retire. But what if he falls off the cliff talent-wise? You got all those parameters that you have to worry about by guaranteeing a 5-year deal. I feel like this is going to be the norm for NFL quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks who signed their deals, like the Patrick Mahomes, the Dak Prescott. I forgot the quarterback that's for the Buffalo Bills. I do apologize. Sorry about that. You got all these young quarterbacks going, wow, his whole contract is guaranteed. Russell Wilson, his whole contract is guaranteed. Aaron Rodgers. You mean tell me he's got a deal where his whole entire contract is guaranteed? Okay. So the next wave of young quarterbacks or, stars in the NFL, they're going to say, hey, if Deshaun Watson can get that, how come I can't get that? This man has been out of football for a year. He's been accused of sexual assault. Okay, even though the criminal matter is closed, there's still a civil matter. And you mean to tell me I don't have none of those off the field problems and I'm producing at an alarming rate? if he can get a guaranteed quarterback with those blemishes on his record, how come I can't get a guaranteed contract? That's what's going to be the new norm. The new norm in the NFL is going to be guaranteed contract. You're going to hear that word for the next 3 to 4 years until teams stop guaranteeing contracts. Okay, but as of right now, this is the wave everybody's going to ride on. Okay, so that's what's going on with Deshaun Watson. He's and also here's one thing I also wanted to talk about before I end this. Deshaun Watson was talking when he was talking about wanting to win titles. Okay, I just don't see it in the cards for the Cleveland Browns. I apologize, guys, but he's essentially leaving the Texans and going to the Cleveland Browns. They pretty much have the same similar talent. Okay, they may have an upgrade in coaching staff. The ownership there, I give it a pass on both organizations. They're not stellar organizations. They don't have a history of tradition for the past 10, 20 years. Okay, so he's essentially leaving the Texans and going to Cleveland. Not to mention Cleveland, a lot of athletes and stars have echoed this sentiment. It's not a great place to live. And I'm pretty sure, I know I'm going to tick off a lot of Cleveland Brown people that actually live in Cleveland. It's not a glamorous spot. It's not LA. It's not New York. It's not that. At least when he was with the Texans, he could go to Dallas. Dallas is a nice city. Houston is a nice city. He's not too far from the West Coast. He can always travel and go to California. I'm pretty sure he had a home in California. He can go to Malibu, okay? He can also go to Mexico. There's a lot of places he can travel while playing for the Houston Texans, okay? With Cleveland, there's not that many glamorous spots there. And to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like, personally, he should go to a city where it's laid back and low key. He should, because I think that's got him in a lot of trouble in Houston. Okay, it was just too many popular areas, and he wanted to go to those popular areas and found himself in a lot of trouble. It's hard to find yourself in a lot of trouble in Cleveland. Okay, I'm pretty sure they have massage parlors and strip clubs and things of that nature, but it's not on the magnitude of what he's leaving, which is in Texas. Okay, there was no state income tax in Texas. There is one in Cleveland. The weather is pretty nice in Houston. It's okay in Cleveland. In the summers, you're going to enjoy the weather, but in the wintertime, particularly playing in the wintertime, if he's allergic to cold, that's probably a bad place and a bad choice for him to play. But I feel like, as a person, I think is a good move for him. He can stay low key, keep a low profile. He's not going to find himself in sticky situations or find himself in trouble. I don't think it's the best football move. I still think the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons are better cities and better teams than the Cleveland Browns. Yes, I know the Atlanta Falcons don't have much on the offensive side of the field. Their defense is a pinch above average. He will also be in a division that will have Tom Brady in it, and maybe that was one of the maybe that was probably a reason why he didn't chose the New Orleans Saints. Okay, even though I was talking about the Atlanta Falcons, I just thought about it just a few seconds ago. But I think the biggest reason why he didn't chose those two organizations was those two organizations wasn't going to take it to the limit as far as guarantee his whole entire contract. Okay, and I feel like that was a sticking point for those two organizations. But anyway, if you've been living under a rock, Deshaun Watson has decided. Well, I don't know if it's a collaboration between Deshaun Watson and Cleveland. I mean, Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. This would be life-changing for the Houston Texans, particularly if, it's going to be their first year. They got all these new acquisitions, an injury here and there, and now they're cellar dwellers. Okay, they're playing for the first, second, or third, possibly the fifth pick in next year's NFL draft, and that's going to be extremely beneficial for the Texans. The Texans will love that, and they got 3 number ones. Okay, so the Texans can revamp that. They're rebuilding, and they can have an above average team in as little as 2 years. Okay, a lot of people will say, well, they won't find another Deshaun Watson. Yeah, but they had Deshaun Watson, and what did Deshaun Watson do for the Houston Texans? At the end of the day, no matter how great your quarterback is, if you don't have weapons around your quarterback, he's not gonna take you anywhere. Okay, so you can look at it that way. Yes, that Deshaun Watson is a once in a lifetime generational talented player. I agree with you on that. However, when they had Deshaun Watson, where did they actually go? Okay, in the AFC South, the weakest division next to the NFC East. Okay. Deshaun Watson was playing the Indianapolis Colts twice. He was playing the Tennessee Titans twice. Okay. And that could be easily 4 wins for Deshaun Watson if he was that guy. Okay. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They also had the Jacksonville Jaguars. Out of everybody in that division, maybe they would have split with the Tennessee Titans, but you would think they would have a positive record inside their division, and all they have to do is just win half their games outside of the division, and they're going into the playoffs, okay? So, yeah, they had Deshaun Watson, and look what happened. Now, there's a lot of factors in play. If you want to blame the Houston Texans organization, okay, cool. We can do that. If you want to blame the decision that they made as far as head coach, cool. We can bring that into the table, bring that to the discussion. If you want to say that the Houston Texans didn't ask Deshaun Watson on his decision on the next head coach, and that's the reason why everything was falling out, you can do that as well as too, okay? All that is on the table. But me personally, they had Deshaun Watson, and they didn't go anywhere. Okay, so they're not going to go anywhere. So if you're not going to go anywhere with a once-in-a-lifetime generational talented player, if you're not going anywhere with that guy, why don't you just go ahead and start all over and rebuild, okay? Get you some draft picks for that guy, and maybe if you draft well, 2 years from now, you'll be back at that level when you had Deshaun Watson. And maybe 3 or 4 years down the road, if you draft well, if you don't give up on a lot of your draft picks, you might be a stellar team, okay? In that division, okay? Yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars are struggling, okay? They're trying to figure it out, okay? They just got rid of their head coach. The Indianapolis Colts, they're struggling. They're trying to figure it out. The Tennessee Titans, that's the only dominant team in that division. And now you see slippage there. So the Houston Texans can easily be the kings of that division in the next 2 to 3 years if they draft well, okay? If they get the right picks and free agency well, okay? So, I could co-sign with a lot of things. Who done wrong, who did right, winners and losers. But it is what it is. Something else I was going to say, but I done totally forgot about it. If you're listening to this video at this point, I didn't want to make this a long video. It ended up being a long video, okay? But hey, I apologize. It is what it is. Deshaun Watson got what he wanted. The Cleveland Browns got what they wanted. Not right now, but Baker Mayfield will get what he wants. And everybody's going to end up being happy. Okay? And we'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. I just think what they have, they're going to have to make some more upgrades on the offensive side of the ball. Okay? Even though they've been trading for players and keeping the tight end, they still need some help on the offensive side of the ball, and it wouldn't help them. It wouldn't help them none, and it would definitely benefit them a lot more if they get help on the defensive end as well. I think they got their coach. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyway, it's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. Please be sure to follow the podcast, Just My Opinion Podcast. There's some nice videos I just uploaded. So, guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.